And so you can read, there's a verse in the Bible. It's Matthew, the 27th chapter, the 33rd verse. And in that verse, it says that Jesus was crucified at Golgotha. Golgotha in Greek means the place of the skull. There's a painting in Budapest at a museum of a misnomer black Jesus with the skull beneath his feet. And the reason that you're crucified at the skull is a part of the temple. The book teaches you that the temple is a place not necessarily made by hands. To answer your question about is a temple real or is it symbolic of something? But the place of the skull is where the light is. This is why when someone doesn't want to hear truth, they turn away. They turn their head away. They look away because they don't want to see the light. They don't want to know the truth. And so if someone knocks your lights out, it denotes that they have struck you in your head. And so hundreds of years ago, Leonardo da Vinci, who they knew about a lot of these secrets, he used to draw the painting with the hermaphrodite pointing up towards the skull where there was a cross. Are you seeing the allegory? And so the Messiah was murdered by the Pharisees. Pharisees was said to be an ancient sect, a Jewish sect, allegedly. They were called the doctors of the law. The Pharisees were interconnected in rulership with the pharaohs of Egypt and also the Canaanites. And it was the lords from Canaan who got the permission from the pharaohs to travel west when they came to these Americas. Canaan means merchant, or no, it means a trafficker. And a trafficker means to deal illegally, as in drugs and sometimes trafficking people. So this concept is very old. Now I'm saying this to say this. People debate and they pass off the Bible and they dismiss it. But let's think about the understanding of it all. Jesus battled the doctors of the law. The doctors were related to the pharmacists. The pharmacist in Greek is pronounced pharmakeia, which means sorcery, magic, and concocting spells. And so, picture this. Look at the political events. Look at what goes on. You're debating if the Bible was fact, if crucifixion is real, but what happened when, in the story, when a man with burnished brass skin brought the truth to the light? He got crucified. Okay, so you don't want to hear about the stories, you don't want to hear about the myths. Okay, so let's get into the science of it all. The crucifixion means to nail to the cross. The Coptic cross, all the ancient astrological sun signs were inside of a cross in a circle, right? And so in science, when something is crucified, it's put to death. When the sun is put to death, it moves to what you call the solstice, aka winter solstice. Break down the word solstice. Sol means sun. Stis, you can see it relates to the word still. So when the sun sits still in the dead of winter, around the time like Capricorn and Sagittarius, what happens is on the 22nd day when the sun moves south, it stands still from the 22nd, 23rd to the 24th. And then on the 25th, the sun rises again, the same time or the same date that all the messiahs were said to rise, on the 25th of December. And so now you're talking about a fact of science. So how is it if the ancient ones didn't have telescopes? So they say if they didn't have scientific instruments, how did they know the movements of these planets? Why were they talking about people who bring truth to light being crucified with burnished brass, copper-colored skin? Think about it. That still goes on today, right? Look who owns and controls the pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceuticals are the doctors of the law. When you doctor something up, you concoct up potions and you put spells and make things negative upon people. And that's what people say about the alleged medicines and pharmaceuticals that are given to patients. And so people that battle in that field, they battle within the pharmaceutical industry, they get crucified, right? They try to have a natural, holistic way to heal, and they try to bring that to the people. The same thing happens to them, what was said to happen in the story of Jesus. So how significant is that story?